Hey, I know sometimes it can be hard to fit in a yoga class, but this quick class is designed to stretch and strengthen your major muscle groups. All you'll need is one yoga block for at the end. If you don't have it, don't worry, you don't need it actually. You can do without. But otherwise, we're going to begin in forearms tabletop pose. So come to your tabletop all fours, but drop those forearms down, elbows under the shoulders. Have a nice long spine. Keep your neck long, and we're going to warm up our spine with some cats and cows on our forearms. So go ahead and inhale, lift up your crown in your seat, breathing in, wrap your upper arms in, wrap your ribs in and down, and exhale, round your back. Maybe drop chin into chest so your crown can hang and really round through all of your backbones. And inhale, and exhale, round your back. 2 more times. Getting into our breath already, breathing in and out. Last one, inhale, lift up your seat, your crown. Exhale, round your back. And come to a neutral spine. We're going to stay on our forearms and come into dolphin pose, which is downward facing dog on forearms. So tuck your toes, send your hips up. And you might walk in a little bit shorter or just leave your feet where you are. Go ahead and pedal it out. I want you to keep wrapping your upper arm bones in, pressing your forearms into the mat, your hands into the mat, especially in the knuckles, the finger pads. And we're going to add a little bit of a combo on in a moment. It's going to be tabletop and include a child's pose to tabletop and back up to your downward dolphin dog. So from here on an inhale, drop your knees. As you exhale, press your hips back to your heels like you would for a child's pose. You can linger here for a moment because it's our first time. Stretch out your arms. And then to complete our combo, we're going to come back up to tabletop, tuck your toes, dolphin dog. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, child's. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, dolphin dog. So now that you got it, let's go through that 2 more times. Tabletop, child's, tabletop, to your dolphin dog. 1 more time, we'll end in our dolphin dog. So breathing as you go. And eventually hips up in that dolphin dog. Now go ahead and see if you can press into your palms to find downward facing dog, just lifting your elbows off the mat, and then bring your palms under your shoulders, or rather as wide as your shoulders, hips to the sky. Nice. Maybe shake out your head a couple of times, let any tension go from your neck. So good. And now we're going to walk our feet forward wide and fold and find a ragdoll pose. So take your feet a little bit wider than your palms, your wrists, and maybe take your hands to elbow creases. Let your head hang heavy to the mat, torso towards the thighs, and just sway your weight from left side to right side a couple of times. And then just start to find stillness. Release your hands down to the ground. And you can toe heel your feet in under your hips or even bring your big toes to touch. And bend your knees. We'll slowly round up to standing. Really slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. When you get to the top, roll your shoulders down your back. Beautiful. From here, sweep your hands all the way up into mountain pose. And we're going to take our fingertips to our shoulders. So just bending your elbows up. From this position, we're going to stretch our triceps, wrap your upper arm bones in, knit your ribs in and pull them down. Just feel that nice gentle stretch across the front of your body, across those triceps. And we'll reach your hands to your sky. And then go ahead and cactus those arms, pull the elbows wide, and maybe lean back just a little bit to lift and open the chest. Be gentle on your neck so we're not crunching back, just really lifting the chest. Beautiful. Reach up and gently bring your hands to your hips. So from standing at the top of your mat, our crescent lunge, take your left foot back, feet or hips width distance apart. Keep your shoulders over your hips, shoulders down the back, low belly pulling in and up so you have core activation, front knee is bent over the heel, back heel is high on the toes. And we're gonna sink this a little bit deeper, bringing a double lunge in. So bring that back knee to a hover. Notice if you leaned forward or back, keep your shoulders over the hips, keep the belly active, hug your inner thighs, back heels high on the toes, and just hold for a couple of breaths. Option hands to the heart, or you can reach your hands up to the sky. Just another 2 breaths. Then go ahead and start to stand back up, crescent lunge, bring your hands to your hips. We're gonna add on a little flight now, so lean forward, starting to find a warrior 3 variation. See if you can lift your back heel, keep your spine long. Your hands can stay on your hips, so you can bring prayer hands at the chest or open up into a T, those airplane wings. Make sure your left hip isn't popping up. We want to keep it soft so your hips stay square to the mat. About 3 more breaths. Pull the belly up to the sky, lengthen your spine, lift your heel a little higher behind you. Last breath in. Then exhale, softly bring your left toes back down and turn to the left side for a prasarita, 2 straight legs. So you have 2 straight legs to the side of your mat, shoulders down your back. Take a breath in, get nice and tall, and then exhale, fold over those wide legs. Hands can come down to the ground. You can shake out your head a few times. We'll be here for about 3 breaths and we'll add a twist on. Your hands might sway across the mat. You might bend from knee to knee. Beautiful. Then your hands can come under your shoulders for that halfway lift. Bring your left hand under your nose and reach your right arm up. So if this feels crunchy on your shoulder, you can bring your hand to your low back. Notice the hips. We naturally tend to lift the right hip to the side. Can you re-square your hips to the mat and then just twist using your strength of your core and your chest? Another round of breath. Lengthen your spine. Use your exhale to twist a little more. And gently release your hand. Whew. Low lunge to the top of your mat, right toes forward. Step into your plank. Plank with the arms long, heels on the toes. Lengthen your spine. Tuck your tailbone down. Pull the belly up. Press the earth away so in between your shoulder blades is filled up with air. Hold for 4. For 3, lower to your mat in 2. And 1. Knees down, elbows hug back as you lower all the way down. For cobra pose, tops of feet press into the mat. And on your inhale, lift up through your chest. So really you're pressing your belly and your hips down, engaging your glutes, legs a little bit, lift the knees. Lengthen your neck, looking down slightly. 1 more inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Downward facing dog. Nice. We'll do that same thing on the other side. So look forward, lift your heels, and then walk forward and fold. Hug it in. Shake out your head, torso to thighs. Find a halfway lift. So we're elongating the spine, shoulders down the back, soft bend of the knees, and lengthen your crown. Instead of looking forward, lengthen the crown of your head forward, the back of your neck long. And breathe in. Fold. Standing mountain, hands to the sky this time. Reach up with strength. And then bend your elbows, fingertips to your shoulder blades, lifting and stretching those triceps. And this time your left hand to your right elbow. You take a little bit of a side body stretch over to the left side, hips to the right. Breathe into the right ribs. Keep your chest open. Beautiful. Back through center. We'll switch sides, right hand to the left elbow. Lift up and back through that left elbow to stretch a tricep. And hinge to the right. Using both waistline muscles, the obliques, squeeze yourself back up with an inhale, hands to the sky. And a little cactus arm back bend. Exhale that breath out, lift the chest. Nice, inhale, reach up. And then exhale, hands to your hips. Left foot is forward. We're gonna step the right foot back. A little crescent lunge. Just bring your right hip in line with the left, so squeeze the right hip forward. Glutes are engaged. Thighs, quads are engaged. Then gently sink down that right knee about an inch above the mat, hold and hover. Of course, if this doesn't feel right in your body, you're welcome to stand it back up into the crescent lunge or bring the knee all the way to the mat. Either way, you're gonna think of drawing that back knee towards the right heel and vice versa for that engagement. And do what you need with the arms, what feels right for your self-expression today. Just a few more breaths to hold. Maybe you bring in a mantra for your practice and for your day. I've been thinking of this one lately. I appreciate myself. I appreciate myself. Another breath in. Maybe get a little closer to the ground with your knee as you exhale, and then inhale, stand up, hands to your hips. And slowly hinge forward. Warrior 3, float the back leg. Instantly when you lift, try to lift the belly into the spine. Hug your shoulders softly away from your ears to lengthen your neck. Kick back through your heel. And maybe extend your arms. Find one solid, steady focal point to help you with your balance, with your focus, your attention. This is called your drishti. And breathe. Using your right glute, lift your right heel a little higher, kick back through your foot like you're kicking a door behind you. Hold for a couple more breaths. Last breath in, and exhale, softly land your toes down. Whew. Facing this side, the right side of your mat, bring both of your toes forward. Maybe you take your hands to a little bind for a moment, roll your shoulders down your back, breath in, fold over your wide legs, breath out. So we'll try to keep the palms pressing together and lift them off your low back. Maybe you take them overhead. If it doesn't feel good, you can release it at any time. We've just got a couple breaths, then we'll add on our twist. Shift a little more weight to the balls of your feet. Keep your heels glued down. Last breath in. And releasing your binds, your hands to the mat. Find that halfway lift. Then right hand plants under your nose. Left hand reach for the sky with a big breath in. Getting that twist. Again, notice the hips. Left hip likes to pop up. So keep the hips level best you can. Use your core, squeeze, and open up into that twist with the chest. Find your breath. Try to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And you can hear the audible sound, your Ujjayi breath, the sound of the ocean. One more breath in. And exhale, release, fold in half. Slowly walk yourself to low lunge at the top of your mat. Step back into plank pose from there. Nice and strong. Belly to spine, lengthening forward. And you can move through a vinyasa or go through your cobra from here. Maybe you lower halfway down, elbows hug in. And inhale, cobra, maybe upward facing dog or seal. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Go ahead and walk towards the center of your mat. Fold in half, hands to the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And bend your knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. You can reach your hands up, or if your shoulders are tight, you can bring them at your heart. Try to shimmy your knees back, squeeze your inner thighs together. Lift up through the chest. If you have trouble bringing the knees to touch, you can take a yoga block and squeeze that instead. Take any rounding or hunching in the back out and just keep it nice and long. Straight spine from your crown to your tail. Take a breath and exhale, reach those arms behind you, palms facing the earth, squeeze your shoulders down your back. Now here's an option to lift your heels into a drinking bird variation, a little toe stand. Very challenging on those quads. Hold for 4, heels down in 3, 2, and 1, heels down. Stand up in a mountain, reach up, and exhale, fold in half. Beautiful, halfway lift, inhale, and exhale, take a seat. So good. Ooh, my quads feel good. Let's stretch out our glutes now and our hips with cow face pose. So cow face pose, I'm gonna take my left leg under, my right leg on top. Crossing at the knees if you can. However, that might not work and you might look more like this or you can just be in Sukhasana as well with the ankles crossed, right ankle in front of the left. And notice if you have any gapping, feel free to use a sweatshirt or something to fill in the gap to support your joints. Sit up nice and tall. Rest your knife edge of both feet into the ground best you can. Sitting bones down. Should be feeling it in the right outer hip and glute. And you can stay upright, relaxed and rested, softening, or you can fold a little bit and go deeper, rounding the back, relaxing your neck. An opportunity to close your eyes. Just a couple more breaths. If you're rounded forward, feel free to use your hands to walk yourself up bone by bone to a straight spine. We're going to take our feet wide, our heels wide on the mat, and just gently windshield wiper your knees from side to side, bring a little bit of circulation back into the legs before we switch sides, this time with the right leg underneath and the left leg on top, or that Sukhasana with the left foot in front, ankle in front of the right. Just make sure your sitting bones are grounded, relaxing your shoulders down your back. Folding forward if you want to on this side. And soften your jaw. Smooth out your brow line, softening your forehead. Releasing any tension in your shoulders. Melting everything downward into the ground. A couple more moments of stillness. Savoring the sensations you might be feeling in this posture. Just another round of breath. And if you're rounded forward, feel free again to use your hands. Support yourself up, bone by bone, all the way to a tall spine. Grab our outer thighs and plant our heels wide, and gently windshield wiper again, side to side. So from here, we're going to come to our backs. And if you have a yoga block, I would recommend using it on the lowest setting. We're going to slide it underneath our sacrum. If you don't have it, don't worry, flat back on the mat is fine. So when you're ready, just lie down, have that block in hand if you're using it. Plant your feet about hips width distance apart. Just lift up your hips a little bit, slide that block under your sacrum, under the bony plate of your pelvis, and lower down. And from here, we're just going to draw the right knee up. Feel free to capture it with your hands on the shins. And you might feel comfortable letting your left leg go long, heel on the ground, toes up. And get a nice juicy stretch out of the left hip flexor here. We'll be here for, 30 seconds to a minute. So just walk your shoulders down your back and just relax. If this isn't accessible for you, you can use a yoga strap around your foot or your shin, or a towel or a sweatshirt just to hold onto the leg. And for about the last 30 seconds or so, if you'd like, you can even bend your knee so that your heel is up above the knee-ish. And maybe take peace fingers or a yoga strap to your big toe or around the sole of your foot and just hold on to your foot there, heel reaching up for the sky, just giving you a slightly different variation of that stretch. A little more engagement in the right leg, a lot of release in the left leg. Keep space from your top and bottom jaw. About 2 more breaths. And we're simply going to bring our right knee under our chest and slowly draw that left knee back into your chest and switch sides. So again, you might lengthen that right leg all the way down, hug in your left knee, or you can the whole time take a strap around the foot or a peace finger, grab the big toe. Whatever you need to do here. And focus on your breath, breathing in through your nose, letting your belly rise, then your chest. Breathing back out of your nose as your chest deflates, and then the belly. Just a couple more breaths, softening into each exhale. Take your last breath in for this posture. And exhale, releasing your left leg to your chest, slowly pulling your right leg into your chest. A little squeeze. Then you can plant your feet gently one by one. Lift up off your block if you were using it. Relax your hips back down, then pull both knees back into your chest. You can give yourself one little gentle squeeze. Maybe bow your forehead, your chin into your knees. And we're going to gently rock up, front and back a few times, or bring your knees off to one side. Make your way up to a seat. You can have closed eyes here, sit comfy. And always an option to bring your hands to your heart. Close off with me if you'd like. Thank you for spending this time together. I hope you have a beautiful day. I'll see you next time. Namaste.